is going on, YouTube? Listen, your boy Trev, not feeling all that great today. I'm sad. I'm a little dismayed. And I thought I would share that with you so you can be sad too. No. Listen, I want to tell you kind of about some things that have transpired over the last day or two that have me reaching an epiphany, okay? And it's not a pleasant one, unfortunately. But yeah, I do want to share it with you. So some of you know that I have another channel, another YouTube channel. I haven't paid a lot of attention to it lately, but it's a channel about relationships. Boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, but I mean just interpersonal relationships. It can be friends, family, co-workers. It really doesn't make a difference. It's a, I don't know if I would call it an advice channel. It was meant to be a channel that people could get together and talk about some issues that they're having and maybe share some ways that they resolved some things, okay? Well, I follow that channel with this channel, right? And so I was scrolling through, this was a couple days ago, I was scrolling through some videos on Shiba Inu and on this development team that is working with and around Shiba Inu. So I was watching what some people had to say, and it kind of got me fired up a little bit. I have not been that kind, both with my videos and with my Medium articles, to this team. I've been outright critical of them. So anyway, as I'm scrolling through, one of the videos from my other channel popped up in my suggested videos. Now this just happens to be, it's kind of funny actually. This happens to be the second video I've ever made, but it was the first video that was actually content, because the first video I made on that channel was just kind of an introduction, okay? But so this was the first video with any content, and the subject that I chose for my very first video I thought was probably the most important subject that I would cover at any time on this channel, and so that's why I wanted to get it out. And it was about perspective. In a nutshell, the video was about how people, like two different people or maybe even groups of people, can look at the same situation, can look at the same whatever, okay, and have two absolutely totally different viewpoints or reach different conclusions or whatever. Just be on opposite sides of it. And the old saying that I brought up in the video is there are 360 ways to view an elephant. And basically what that's saying is that if there's an elephant in the middle of the field, 360 degrees around that elephant, regardless of where you're standing and looking at that elephant, the person next to you looking at the same elephant is seeing something different than you're seeing, because you're looking at it from a different angle, okay? And so this video was about not necessarily agreeing on stuff when there is a disagreement or when you're on different sides of an issue. It was about understanding each other's perspective, okay? Why does the other person see things the way that they see them? Why do they see them so absolutely different than I see them, okay? And if you can do that for the other person, for the group, for whatever it is that you have a difference of opinion with, and they can do it as well, you don't have to agree. You don't have to agree. You can just understand that the other person, the other group, whatever, has a different perspective that has been formed by their experiences, by a lot of things throughout their life, okay? So this video came up in my suggested videos, and I watched it. And I watched it right after I had gotten all fired up about this development team, right? And at the end of it, it was like a smack in my face from myself telling me, you know what, why don't you practice what you preach? Because you are talking all kind of smack about this team, don't agree with the way that they're doing things, don't agree with some of the conclusions that they've come up with, but have you tried to understand their perspective? Have you tried to maybe see it from their point of view or understand why they see it that way? Okay. Some of the issues obviously are, revolving around burning Shiba Inu, around utilities for Shiba Inu, around increasing the value of Shiba Inu. And myself and a whole lot of you out there look at it a certain way. We look at it from an investor's point of view, or maybe even from a trader's point of view, and there is a little bit of a difference. But they don't see it from that same perspective, okay? So, think about it like this, okay? Talking about that elephant. Let's say the elephant is in the middle of the field, and the elephant has a spot on one side. Well, you're standing on one side of the elephant, and someone else is standing on the other side of the elephant, and the spot is on their side. So they're saying, yeah, this elephant's got a spot. It's an elephant with a spot. I'm looking right at this elephant. It doesn't have a spot. I'm looking right at this elephant, and I'm telling you this elephant has a spot. It's the same elephant, right? But until I go over to that side and see it from their perspective, I'm not going to understand what they're talking about. And vice versa. If they come over to my side, oh, okay, I see why you say it doesn't have a spot. You can't see the spot from here. Okay, all right, whatever, right? So, long story short, my long stories are never short. They're always longer than I intend. I made a decision. I said, you know what? I'm going to put all that stupidity aside of just, jumping all over these guys. And I am going to make an attempt, if they're willing, to understand their perspective, okay? I didn't at all think that I would ever come over to their side and see things exactly the way they see them. I was not looking to have my mind changed, although I'm open to have my mind changed. I really am, right? But I wasn't expecting that to happen. I certainly wasn't expecting to change anyone on that side's mind over to the way I see things. I just wanted to understand their perspective, okay? Maybe they're not bad people. Maybe they're not out to get us. Maybe they're just looking at this thing from a different way, right? So here's what I did. I got on Twitter and I reached out to Satoshi. I could not DM Satoshi. I don't know if he has it locked down. If I were him, I would, right? But or maybe because he doesn't follow me. Either way, I wasn't able to DM him. So I just shot out a quick tweet. I tagged him and I said, DM me, please. Simple as that, okay? Never got a response, but I wasn't surprised. Where I was surprised is I also sent out a DM this time. I was able to DM Trophius. And I asked him if he would be interested in possibly doing an interview, an open and honest interview, respectful interview on my channel where we could chat about these things, okay? And he got back to me, which amazed me. I really didn't expect even a reply, okay? So props to him for even replying. He did decline the offer for an interview on my channel. Basically cited the fact that I've been a bit of an ass toward them, right? I'm not blaming him for any of this, and I'm not denying it, okay? I have been very, very critical. But he said, he wasn't going to do that. He didn't want to, he wasn't going to come and bolster my channel, or bolster the channel of someone who's been so negative toward them and had such bad things to say. Okay, fair enough. I brought it on, okay? I fully admit that I brought that on, and I'm surprised he even responded at all, okay? So after a little bit of dialogue, and I told him that, whatever was said between us, and that's fine. And that's the way it's going to stay, okay? Man of my word. So after a little, and he's welcome to share anything he wants to share. I really don't care if anybody knows anything I had to say, but he wanted things to be private, and that's fine. So after a little bit of dialogue, he suggested that I come to their Discord and get the true view of what was going on, what they were doing from their community. I expressed some concerns about that. I believe I expressed some concerns regarding some issues that other people might have had who tried to do that. I don't remember if we talked about that then or not, but I know it was brought up at some point. But anyway, ultimately I said, you know what? That's fine. In good faith, the way I felt about it, I'm the one who's reaching out to you to do this. So if this is what you want me to do, that's fair enough. I'll come to the Discord. I fully expected to be attacked as soon as I got in there. Assuming any of them even know who I was, right? Any of their community anyway, right? But I said I would come and I would do that, and I would talk to them and I would get their perspective. So I did that. He sent an invitation. I joined the Discord, okay? I came in. I said hello. Immediately was greeted by Queenie, who said hello and welcome. I think she knows who I am. Maybe she doesn't. I don't know. But either way, I was welcomed by her, and that's appreciated, okay? Because if she does know who I am, she probably shouldn't have welcomed me, right? I've had a lot to say. So that was kind, and that was cool, right? So I wanted to look around the Discord a little bit and figure out, what was what in there, kind of get the lay of the land. All Discords are kind of set up differently, and sometimes there are some rooms that you have certain conversations in, and some rooms where you shouldn't have certain conversations. So I just really wanted to understand that, because I wanted to be respectful, and I didn't want to come into the wrong room with the wrong questions, whatever, okay? So that's what I did, and I took my time doing that. As I was scrolling through, I came across a message from someone, and it was a guy who had developed some sort of game, I guess, and there were NFTs involved. I don't remember exactly how it went, but I remember reading it and thinking, that's cool. Here's somebody trying to do something, right? And within the game, there was a burn mechanism, and he was selling the fact that there was a burn mechanism to burn off Shiba Inu. So that was okay. But what caught me, and yeah, I know we're at 13 minutes already. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a longer one, all right? But it's going to be worth, watch this to the end. It's going to be worth it at the end, okay, to reach my epiphany. Anyway, so the reply that he got back was from Trophius. And listen, I even said this to him, and I will say it to you. Sometimes it is very difficult to interpret the tone or the intention of a text, okay? Somebody might say something in a text, and to them, they're laughing to themselves when they type it, but it didn't come across that way, okay? Which is why people use emojis, I guess, but not everybody does that. So, to me, the answer to this guy that Trophius got, I felt it was a little short. I felt it was a little disrespectful, okay? That's just how I felt. Now, I'm not saying that's what he intended. I'm saying that's how it came off to me. So, I messaged Trophius and I said, this is probably as good a place as any to jump in and attempt to have maybe a conversation with you. Because all the things that I've heard about how you guys maybe sometimes are with people who come up with opinions or something that differs from yours, this kind of clarifies that for me, and seems to be exactly what people are talking about. And I let him know, I said, listen, but I'm open to the fact that maybe I'm not really getting the intention here, right? Well, I was told very bluntly, before I come into this room, I have to go into a voice chat room. Okay. Now I haven't observed any, because there's new people joining the Discord all the time. I haven't observed anyone else coming in and asking questions or starting conversations that was told that before they were able to do that, they had to go and into a voice chat with everybody. Okay. So this was special treatment being levied on me because of who I am and because of, the information that I've put out, right? I mean, there's just no doubt about that, okay? So there was some conversation about that, and I really wanted to get across the fact that I was coming in waving a white flag. I genuinely just wanted to try and understand the perspective here, okay? And reach some sort of, okay, I don't agree with you, but I at least understand why you think that. That's all I wanted to do, okay? And I'm trying my hardest to get that point across and letting him know, listen, I understand that you would be upset with me. I understand that you might not even trust my motives here, okay? And no matter what I said, it was met with hostility. Honest to God is the only word that I can really think to use. That's how it felt, okay? And I was told that I was being accusational. I was accusing him of being, not being open-minded, and I was doing this and I was doing that. And everything that I was saying, and I was trying my best, and again, through text, what can you do? But I was trying my best to convey that I'm genuinely just being authentic here and really just want to have a conversation about these things, a dialogue, an open one. No, not trying to set anybody up, not trying to do any of that, okay? But that was not coming across. And so that conversation really didn't go anywhere. But again, I conceded and said, okay, listen, if what you want me to do is get into a voice chat, I will do that. He said, we're in the gaming room and we're chatting right now, right? Okay. I go over to the gaming room and they're playing a video game. It is not conducive to chatting about this stuff at all. There's all kinds of noise. Everybody's talking about the game. But I came in, I said hi, there were a couple greetings or whatever. But after listening for a little while, and I didn't even know that I was like vocal or whatever, but anyway, or that they could hear me. But, after saying hi and hanging out for really a minute, I said, listen, maybe this isn't the best time to really get into this stuff. Maybe I'll come back at a time where it's just conversation that's going on, and really, there's just a bunch of stuff happening right now, and I don't really want to crush the vibe here of everybody having fun with this game, okay? So that's what I did, right? I kind of bowed out of it. But upon reflecting on it, I've come to some conclusions, okay? I don't know if any of you have ever chanced your way into a debate room between theists and atheists, okay? But this is something that I used to love to do. What goes on in these rooms is you have this side, and they just go around in circles. Circles. There's straw man arguments being thrown, and every kind of avoidance that can possibly happen, because everybody knows on each side, they absolutely know that they are right, that their side is the 100% accurate and true side, and both sides know it, and they're the total opposite, so how can they both know it, right? How can either one of them be right? Well, this is what happens, all right? When you hold so fast onto your position and you really believe in your heart and in your mind that you are right, then you get into a position where really all you're trying to do is get that person to see your point. And that's it. That's your only goal, right? You want them to see your point, and you want them to believe what you believe because you are right, okay? That's what this would have been. It's just what it would have been. And I didn't want it to be that, because I didn't want to try to prove to anybody that I was right or get their Discord to understand the things the way that we understand them. And they weren't going to do that for me. I mean, I'm a kind of a grown man. You know what I mean? My opinions are my opinions, and they're not very easily swayed because I don't come upon them very easily. I contemplate things as best I can, okay? So I think I've decided I'm not going to try to get into one of these voice chats, and I may change my mind about that. But right now, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. Okay, why not just have a conversation with me as two adults? Why not? You're very clear on what your views are and the reasons for them. Why not just explain that to me? I just wanted it explained, and it's, you know, not to say I'm going to agree with you, but at least I want to understand why you think that. Okay. So why can't we do that? Why do I have to be in a room where it's like, you know, I'll fight you, but I'm going to go get all my boys first, right? To stand around while I do. Just in case you get the better of me, somebody else can jump in. You know, he wanted me on his turf. It's not going to work out because they're not coming to it, or at least he's not coming to it, with the genuine desire to understand another perspective like I am. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. We're not going to have that conversation. It's not going to go anywhere. However, on the plus side, I did get into the Shib room today while I was at work, and I decided to just ask a question of the community and see if anybody there would answer my questions. I had some insight for me, okay? And the question basically that I asked was something to do with, you know, what is this team's plan to help increase the value of Shiba Inu, okay? And I had to ask the question a few times. Nobody seemed to want to touch it, but finally, a couple of people, and I don't know if they were men or women, it doesn't matter to me, a couple of people did actually address it, okay, and explain to me in a very respectful way, very articulately and intelligently, why they feel the way that they feel. Now, scrolling through here, okay, previous to this, you know, this thing with Trophius and the guy with the game, right? And he told him, you know, a burn feature is not a likable feature, and you're not offering anything to our ecosystem at all, right? This is basically what he told him, right? And there was another thing that I came across where Queenie was replying to someone very nicely, not rudely at all, very nicely, but letting them know that burns were not a good idea, right? I'm sure people come in here all the time and talk about burns because we talk about them, so they come in here, they ask about them. These guys have said that they're doing burns or that they have interest in burns, so it's a normal question to ask. But every time I saw someone ask the question, it was shot down, and they were told, no, burns aren't a good idea. I don't know what has been said out there. These people are not for burns, okay? This team do not believe in burns. It's not their perspective. And so these couple people that I came across explained that to me, and told me, you know, gave me reasons why they felt that way. Now, did I agree with them? No, I don't agree with them. I don't see the elephant from their side, okay? I see it from a different side. They do not look at Shiba Inu, and I don't believe they're capable of looking at Shiba Inu from an investor's point of view. And in fact, they feel like burning Shiba Inu is simply for people who want it to pump real fast so they can make money and then they can dump it. Sorry to break it to you, but investors invest money in the hopes that something rises in value, then they take their profits, right? That's not necessarily pump and dump, okay? But it's being used in that, you know, they're assigning that phrase to what an investor does, or what a trader does. Okay, investors sometimes, sometimes people look at it as they invest long term. That's investing. But when you're day trading or swing trading, and swing trading might be over a couple of days, it might be over a couple of months, it might be over a year, it's still, I think, considered swing trading. Okay, so when they look at what traders want to do, it's like evil. It's totally against their vision for Shiba Inu. So they relayed that to me. And if I were seeing it from their point of view, I would probably have the same feeling that they have. Okay? They have a perspective, and they have a reason for their perspective. And their perspective is diametrically opposed to our perspective. And that's the way it's going to be. Okay? Any of you who are looking for maybe some sort of reprieve from this team, because maybe they've mentioned, that they're for burns, or that, their ecosystem or their blockchain, the Shibarium, is going to have some sort of burn mechanism in it that's going to, speak to what we need it to and answer all of our woes. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. They don't believe in it. That's the honest truth about it. Okay. I am not trying to. I don't want to vilify them. Okay. This is what I want to get across to you. All right. Maybe let's stop looking at each other like the villains, like the bad guys. Okay. And maybe let's just start realizing that we are on opposite sides of this elephant. We're seeing it from different angles. We have different agendas and different intentions. They're never going to coalesce. It's just the way it is, okay? And this is the part that makes me sad, because this Ryoshi's vision, right, or this thing that I read from Ryoshi was that Shiba Inu was meant to be an experiment to provide a community with a truly decentralized token, free from any influence, okay? No centralized body to govern it or to dictate a path. This is the experiment, okay? And see what the community would make of it, all right? That was the intended experiment. Here's what actually happened, okay? The experiment turned out not to be about Shiba Inu at all. The experiment isn't about a decentralized token. It's not about what the community would do with it. This is a social experiment. I don't know if this is what was intended, but this is what happened. It's a social experiment. It's putting a ball in the middle of a playground with 6 kids. 3 of them want to play kickball. 3 of them want to play dodgeball. Okay? It's human nature. We don't all see things from the same perspective. And very often, like the theists and atheists, like a million other groups that I can mention to you, okay? Very often, we are on opposite sides and opposite viewpoints of the same situation, okay? Of the same circumstances. And this is what's happening with this, okay? The experiment has shown that we, as human beings, maybe are incapable of joining, maybe, of totally working things out, of coming up with middle ground, maybe. Those kids on the ball field, maybe they say, you know what? Let's do both. Let's play kickball for a little while, then let's play dodgeball, or vice versa, right? Maybe they argue about which one they do first. But if they do that, they've evolved, okay? They've gone a step into what it takes to really be a good human being, understanding each other, reaching, some sort of, combining, we talk about it all the time, how divided we are, right? As a nation, as everything, right? Whether it's race or religion or just, men and women or, sexual orientation, whatever it is, there's so many divisions. And there are always going to be people who butt heads, but the evolution that we should be striving toward is assimilation, is combining, even though we see things from different points of view, and saying, how can we still come together and make this work for everyone? Okay? That's the experiment here. And unfortunately, I'm not real happy about the outcome of this experiment. But for me, it's over. This is the conclusion for me, okay? Is that, we're divided on this. We're divided on this, and we're not going to reach a middle ground. So my conclusion is that I wish this team the best. I wish everyone who supports them and is interested in the metaverse and all the things that they're creating, which are really cool things, I wish everybody in that camp the absolute best, and I wish them success. But I want very seriously for them to do the same for us. I want them to acknowledge and admit that Shiba Inu is decentralized. They don't own it. It's not up to them to dictate its path, and it's not up to them to say what is the right way to utilize it, okay? Whether you want to hold it forever, or whether you want to trade it, whether you want to try to reduce the supply and make the price go up. If you think that's what will do it, they don't think so. They think that just bringing utility to it will do it. But there's been arguments about, when are you going to bring the utility? You haven't done that either. Listen, I don't want to do the tit for tat thing. I don't want to do the point counterpoint thing, because it's not going to get us anywhere. Let's just understand that we're on different sides of this, and we're not going to come together. That's all there is to it. So if we want to remain involved with Shiba Inu, then I suggest very strongly that we go on some sort of campaign to find a team that reflects our side of the elephant, because these guys aren't getting off their side, and that's fine. Okay. All right, that's it. I don't know. Leave some comments in the comment section. You agree with me? You disagree with me? Either way is fine. All right. But if you could hit the like button, subscribe, you know the deal. Okay. Ciao.